Today we're covering the best MacBook to buy for music production and DJing. The right device can mean the difference between making great music while having a ton of fun versus constantly waiting for things to load or even crashing your entire set. To get the most up-to-date data, I talked to my friends who are professional DJs. And at our company Upgraded, we've helped thousands of people upgrade their laptops. So we have a good sense of what actually is the best MacBook for music production and DJing. And I'm going to explain things as simply as possible. So if you still think RAM is a mountain goat and CPU is that guy from Star Wars, don't worry. I'll give you recommendations at 3 different price points. A middle-of-the-road option, that's kind of a general best pick. A budget option, if you're looking to save money. And then a no-holds-barred performance option, if you just want to go all out with your device. But first, we need to talk about what actually matters when it comes to choosing a laptop for music production or DJing. And again, those aren't the same thing, but for us, they're similar enough that I'm going to lump them together. We'll talk about the unique differences when they come up. So the key features when it comes to music production and DJing. First up is going to be your CPU. This is essentially how fast your computer processes things. Here, just know that more cores equals smoother processing for complex projects, especially if you're using a bunch of different tracks, plugins, or virtual instruments. RAM basically allows you to handle multiple processes and projects at once. 24 gigs is usually what I would recommend here, though if you want to save money, you can drop it down to 16 gigs. Just know that you will see a slight performance decrease at the higher levels. But you can also upgrade this to something like 36 gigs or even more if you really want to max out your computer. Storage. In general, storage doesn't really matter that much when it comes to music production just because you should basically always get an external hard drive to store your files on anyways. You're going to have a ton of songs. It's good to put them on an external drive and even have backups in case you lose one. Plus, if you're DJing, that's almost always what you'll use to plug into your board anyways. Ports. Ports are very important. They're essential for audio interfaces, MIDI controllers, and DJ equipment. You're almost always going to need some dongle converters just based on what sort of stuff you're plugging in. But if possible, we want to minimize the number of hubs that we need to connect to our device, so it's good to have extra ports to fit everything you need in one go. Then there's screen size. This is mostly a personal preference. Some producers like having the big external screen so they have lots of real estate, but you can do basically everything you need on even a 13-inch MacBook. It's kind of up to you. But I will say, if you're DJing directly from your laptop, then it usually makes sense to get a slightly bigger screen, just so you have the real estate to see all the tracks coming in, make sure that everything goes smoothly. Lastly, a fan versus a fanless design. MacBook Pros have a fan, MacBook Airs do not. Under heavy workloads, a fan will help cool your device so that it works a little bit faster. If you're not really pushing the limits of your device though, you should be fine without a fan. Okay, enough of that, let's jump into it. If you're looking for a great middle-of-the-road option, my general pick, it is going to be the MacBook Pro 14-inch with the M4 Pro chip, but upgraded to 24 gigabytes of RAM and a 12-core CPU. This is gonna give you really solid performance for most producers without going overkill. Basically, it balances affordability with performance. So that's the middle of the road option, but if you're looking to save some money, my budget pick is the MacBook Air M3, 10-core CPU and 16 gigabytes of RAM. I'll also throw in another popular option, which is the MacBook Pro M1 from 2020. If you can buy one of these refurbished that hasn't been used that much, they're still really great machines. I've actually seen a few other YouTubers recommend these, so it's a pretty popular option and might even be cheaper than the M3 Air. But basically, if you're just getting started with music production or DJing, and you're looking for a device that will handle most of your needs, the M3 Air is going to be a great fit. It's got a 10-core CPU, and although it's not quite as fast as the newer M4 chips, it's still going to be able to handle most things just fine. It's got 16 gigabytes of RAM. You could upgrade this, but for beginners, it's going to be pretty good. Storage, it's got 256 gigs. Again, that's not a ton, but you should just get an external hard drive anyways, so it doesn't really matter. The display is fairly similar. Apple's known for having good displays. It's 13 inches, a little bit smaller, but for most people, that won't make a huge difference. Battery life in ports, it's got 18 hours of battery life. That's fantastic. It does only have 2 Thunderbolt ports though, so keep that in mind if you got a bunch of things to plug in. You might run into one of those issues where you have to unplug something to transfer over your music files and then plug the other one back in. You can get around that by getting a USB hub that you can just plug in and connect a bunch of stuff, but just keep that in mind. Basically, this one is great for beginner music producers and DJs, especially if you're doing, what I would consider a fairly standard workflow where you're DJing, have the DJ set, and are just using your computer to prepare your music, set your in and out points, things like that. This is going to handle everything just fine. Now, if you are a seasoned pro or budget just isn't an issue for you and you want to go for as good of performance as possible, then you should get the MacBook Pro 16-inch with the M4 Max chip. This thing is a beast. It is going to handle every single audio project that you can throw at it. It's got the M4 Max chip with a 16-core CPU and 40-core GPU. RAM, it starts at 36 gigs, but can go all the way to 128. That will give you crazy good performance that can handle hundreds of tracks, advanced plugins, and real-time rendering with zero lag. Storage starts at 1 terabyte. Here is where you could potentially upgrade it to have enough storage to handle all of your audio files locally. It's kind of up to you if you want to do that, but you can go all the way up to 8 terabytes. That's a lot. Then it's got the 16-inch screen, which is big, it's bright, it's beautiful. Battery life, we're looking at 18 to 22 hours. And again, here we've got the 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports, got the HDMI port, and the SD card slot. It's the same setup as the first MacBook Pro that I mentioned, but it's nice that it has those extra ports for everything that you're going to need to plug in. So this is for people who are professionals, like this is your full-time job, or if budget just really isn't an issue and you want to future-proof yourself so that you can have this for a long time. In that case, this is what I would recommend. So those are 3 options, but you might not like any of those. And if you're wondering, what specs should I upgrade if I want to kind of do a custom build? To which I would tell you CPU and RAM are going to be the most important. Those handle the processing of all of your different files, your tracks, your plugins, things like that. So if you're gonna spend more money, definitely do it on those. Storage you should invest in, but as an external hard drive, not within your computer. Now let's talk deals. If you wanna find deals on these devices, there's a couple things you can do. First, with any of the older ones, you should look at refurbished options. Apple itself has a refurbishment program that you can shop at. There are also sites like Backmarket that have a wide variety of refurbished devices. You can also look on places like Facebook Marketplace or eBay. Just be a little careful with those since they're not as official. You could also pay over time with a company like Upgraded. Now that is our company, but we built it to make buying a laptop more easy and affordable and better for the environment. You can pay for your device over 36 months instead of all up front. So for example, that first MacBook Pro that we looked at would be $63.28 a month if you qualify for 0% interest. And occasionally, big retailers like Best Buy or B&H will have short-term deals on these laptops. So watch for those, see if you can snag one. But regardless of how you buy, I hope this gave you the info you need to make the right decision. I'll see you next time.